Diary of a Wimpy Saiyan. Oh god, no. Okay. Diary of a Wimpy Saiyan by Pufflehugs, the same person. Greg Hemphley was a wimpy kid. Everyone already knew this. Even his ex-best friend Rowdy Jefferson kicked his ass at least once every day. The only people Greg could trust anymore was his gang, the Alligator Pajamas. However, one fateful day made everything much better. One day that would make Greg the toughest kid in school. No, the toughest kid in the world. This was the day Greg heavily met Cell. So, you gonna train me, fam? Scred asked, and, and his took his blunt out of his mouth. Indeed. Indeed, answered imperfect Cell. But but first you must do something for me. What do you need? Greg asked. I need you to bring me Android 17 and 18, stated Cell. But there's no way I can stand up to them, declared Greg. The androids were truly tough. They've been causing the apocalypse on the entire planet. Greg's hometown only managed to be protected by the strange warrior known only as Fregley. In that case, I will teach you one technique, Cell said as he placed his hand on Greg's head. I'm doing this, he taught Greg. In doing this, he taught Greg the Kaioken. All you have to do is shout Kaioken to activate it. Alright, I'll go fucking kill those stupid androids, declared Greg as he ran out of Cell's cave. As Greg exited Cell's cave, he was confronted by his brother, Roderick. Oh god. Hey, Runt, it's time to get your fucking ass beat. And Roderick, Greg's parents obviously cared about Roderick and many more than they cared about Greg, as they had given the two weighted training clothes so they could become stronger. Now then, which bone will I break this time? Kaioken! Shouted Greg, and he punched Roderick in the face. This attack managed to knock Roderick straight into Papa Tony's pizza. Roderick landed right next to the pizza oven, and some gasoline poured out of his pocket. The gasoline caught fire and lit Roderick ablaze. In mere moments, the entire restaurant was in flames. Greg smiled. He knew with this new power, he would be able to kill the androids. Come on, Leslie, we need to kill the last remaining humans, said Android 17, looking impatient. You know, Lapis. I found something enraging, said Android 18, with an anger in her voice. Samatsu stole our shtick and is doing it better than us. That just makes me want to kill those damned humans more, shouted Android 17 as he flew into the direction of Greg's hometown. Hey, stop right there, fam, called Greg. Do you want to die? Strick Android 17. Greg smiled again. Kaioken times 10. Android 17's face changed from smug to dismayed as Greg knocked his head off with one swift kick. Lapis, screamed Android 18 as she saw the damage to her brother. I'll fucking kill you. Android 18 dived towards Greg and swung a punch at him. This knocked Greg back into a nearby mountain. That takes care of that, declared Android 18. Kaioken times 100! Screamed Greg. Dear God, uttered Android 18. Before Android 18 could ever begin even see him, couldn't could even see him. Greg slapped Android 18 so hard that she died instantly. Greg carried the dead androids back to Cell's cave. Cell absorbed their bodies and transformed into his perfect form. Finally, said
You
Perfect
two have done
Cell.
this 4 times before. Sorry.
For your insistence, I'll train you. Thanks, fam, said Greg. There's something you probably didn't know about yourself. Something shocking, declared Cell. What is it, fam? Asked Greg. You are a Saiyan.
Oh my gosh.
Hold on, there's one more chapter.
Yeah, there is.
Everything suddenly made a sense to Greg. His parents weren't unusual. They aren't human at all. They're Saiyans. It's Saiyan nature to reject weaklings. That's what happened to Vegeta's brother Tarbal. But now Greg was the Alpha. Greg spent 5 years training with Master Cell. During this time, he had unlocked new forms that Cell referred to as Super Saiyan forms. Cell had
Yes.
also achieved a new form as well, a golden form that he had inherited from Frieza. Today's the day, Cell said. Today's the day we destroy this stupid city, and then the entire planet. All right, let's go show those fools our power, declared Craig. During his 5 years of training, he had adopted Cell's manner of speech. So, Greg, where should we attack first? Asked Cell. My old house, answered Greg. For the past 5 years, Greg had been plotting revenge on his family, the same family that rejected him for his weakness. After Roderick's death, he had no funeral. Craig's parents had no desire to honor a warrior who would die by the hand of someone that they considered a weakling. All right then, let's go, declared Cell. Greg and Cell began flying towards Greg's old house. As they arrived, they kicked in the door. Susan Hemsley, Greg's mother, was visibly shocked to see Greg. How could a weakling live like you possibly survive for 5 years on your own? Asked Susan. Enough of your bullshit, shouted Craig. You considered me a weakling, but it couldn't be further from the case. I spent the past 5 years training with Master Cell, and now I'll kill you. You couldn't even hurt Manny, cuckolded Susan. We'll see about that, Craig said, as he activated his Super Saiyan form. A Super Saiyan, eh? Not like, not like you could beat me, declared Susan. Greg swung his fist towards Susan's head, but she dodged it as she activated her own Super Saiyan form. Then she knocked Greg back. Damn it! Even after all that training, I'm still weak in comparison to my mom. No, no, I won't lose. Kaioken! What is this? Is this the power of a Super Saiyan God? Muttered Susan. I don't know what you're talking about, stated Greg, but this is my Super Kaioken form, and now you will face my wrath. You are so full of yourself, Greg. It would take the power of a god to kill me, declared Susan. Greg, however, began charging an attack. Kamehameha! Shouted Craig. Before Susan could even react, she was dissolved in the beam. I didn't even have to interfere, Cell stated proudly. You you seem to be the only one who truly understands my power, declared Greg. I see you are powerful, said Greg's father, Frank heavily. Indeed I am, stated Greg, who had reverted back into his regular Super Saiyan. However, you will not beat me, declared Frank, as he transformed into his Super Saiyan form. You like You're likely stronger than my mother was, determined Greg. So I'll go even harder on you. Greg then activated his Super Saiyan 2 form. A, a second level Super Saiyan? No matter, I'll still overpower you, declared Frank. How foolish, stated Greg as he began running at Frank. Greg elbowed Frank in the back of the head, causing him to spit up blood. God, you pay for that, shouted Frank as he began charging a Gallic gun. In response, Greg began charging another Kamehameha wave. They both simultaneously fired their attacks at each other and started a beam struggle. Give up, son, ordered Frank. You're no match for me. Kaioken, shouted Greg. The Kaioken technique allowed Greg to win the beam struggle. The force from the attack left Frank alive but immobile. Any last words, Scum? asked Craig. You'll never defeat your brother, declared Frank. I killed Roderick years ago, started Greg. I'm not talking about Roderick, clarified Frank. I'm talking about Manny. As if he could kill me, declared Craig as he fired a key blast at Frank's head, blowing it into pieces. You clearly underestimate me, stated Manny. Craig turned to look at Manny. He clearly aged quite a bit, but and was now 13 years old. He was wearing gold-plated Saiyan armor and had a green double-eye scouter similar to the one worn by Taguma. but the but the most noticeable difference was the fact that he is now possessed a Saiyan tail. Yeah, sure, Greg said sarcastically. Get out of my way, and I may spare you. Emphasis on me, on me. Fine, let me show you my power, declared Manny. Manny's entire body began swelling, his pupils disappeared, and his hair turned spiky and green. His chest was simply too big to be contained by the Saiyan armor, so it cracked and broke off. Manny was now 5 times Greg's size. This is a legendary Super Saiyan, Cell realized. But wait, Greg, there's still what there there's still where to ascend, Manny declared as he began charging a white ball of light in his hand. Manny threw the ball of light into the air, transformed into a full moon. Manny started becoming larger. Green hair began growing all over his body, and he was still growing. His eyes changed from white to red. Manny had become a legendary golden Azuru. Upon seeing this, Greg activated his Super Saiyan 3 form and Cell activated his golden form. They both began charging at Manny, but Manny knocked them both back with one swing of his tail. He's tough, stated Greg. Manny then turned towards Cell and began charging his eraser gun. He fired the attack and dissolved Cell. Greg used the opportunity to attack Manny. Kaioken times 1000! He screamed as he punched Manny in the head. Manny fell onto where Cell once stood and was completely immobilized. Cell then regenerated and lifted up Manny before throwing him to the moon. Greg then used the instant transmission technique and ripped Manny's tail off. Once Manny powered down into his legendary Super Saiyan form, Greg fired a special beam cannon into his chest, killing him instantly. Where to now? Where to now? Hell asked Greg as Greg returned to the Earth. Westmore Middle School, decided Greg. Oh man.
This is a fucking masterpiece. Jesus, man, I had no idea that these existed.